Hey, my name is Connor Duble, and I'm a private pilot with an instrument rating. The first time I met Johnny, I was about to be a senior in high school. Johnny helped me get my private pilot's license. About a year later, I got it right before I left for Auburn. And because of COVID, I couldn't fly at Auburn anymore. We all got sent home. We didn't know what was going to happen. But the one thing I did know is Johnny was always there for me. He reached out. He said, "Hey, do you want to come fly? I know you can't fly in Auburn. I'd love to go fly with you. I'd like to see how you're doing." And we flew. And so we continued to work on my instrument rating over COVID, and it kept me busy. And then even most recently, I was home and I needed a flight review, and who gave it? Nobody but Johnny Barnes. I think I appreciate most about Johnny Barnes is he's always there for you. Johnny, going forward, I just hope you enjoy retirement and just take a few more trips out to Hawaii and enjoy life, relax for once. I hope to still see you out at the airport when I go, but just learn to relax. I appreciate all you've done for me, and you've always been there for me. Thank you very much.
Reg Hyde here. Let me tell you a little story about a guy named Johnny Barnes. Met Johnny a couple of years ago. I was interested in getting back into the general aviation game. I went to Shelby County, met Johnny. Johnny became my instructor for a couple of bounces in one of their 172. So I've just met him, just landed, or just gotten there. And Johnny and I go up a couple of bounces, 172. During the flight, I mentioned that I'm interested in a Mooney. He says, "What type?" I say, a M20F. He says, "Man, it's your lucky day. Tell you what, let's go fly mine." Sight unseen, on the spot, let's go fly mine. Incredibly gracious. That's the kind of guy Johnny Barnes is. Just an amazing specimen of an individual. I can't tell you how much I appreciate having met him. Johnny, it's a shame that you're leaving. We are taking a massive loss on this one. I just want you to know. We appreciate you. I love you, and I mean that in a good way. Johnny, we're going to miss you immensely at Shelby County. Your loss will be felt for decades. Anyway, we're sorry that you're leaving. Have fun in retirement. We'll talk to you soon. See you, Johnny.
Hey, I'm Roger Mangum, and I moved over from South Georgia back in 2012. And in 2013, I noticed a sign, "Learn to Fly." And I said, well, that'd be a great thing to do, because I was going back and forth to South Georgia still because my wife and youngest daughter was there. She was finishing up high school and she had another year. And I said, that'd be a great way to go back and forth. So I walked into the school to Over the Mountain, and I met Johnny. And I would say, as fate would have it, I met him, but I think the Lord puts people in our lives for a reason, and I know He put Johnny there because Johnny I couldn't have had a better flight instructor. As most of you know, he's so good at it. He knows when to let you go and when to take over, but he also became a great friend. And so 6 months later, after we met, I passed my check ride. And he was very instrumental also in helping me buy my first plane, as I was new to aviation, didn't know a thing about what to do. He really helped me a lot. And I just want to take this time to say, Johnny, I'm glad that you were my flight instructor, but more importantly, I'm glad that you have become such a great friend of mine and Mandy's. And I hope you and Dinah have a great time during your retirement.
Met Johnny, or as we like to call each other, Cuz, back in 07 at Shelby County. In 05, I bought a 182 RG, had it at Shelby County, and between 5 and 7, put about 900 hours on it VFR most of the time. Looking for somebody to teach me my instruments, having a hard time because I was flying so much. Coming into Shelby County one afternoon, landed on 16, the mic hit, and it was Cuz. He said, just got back from Florida, got my CFI, ready to go. So we got together, and on September the 24th was our first flight as far as training. My first instrument approach down the minimums was on October the 17th. We flew into Tuscaloosa, shot it down the minimums, landed, checked the radar. Weather was really bad over Selma. Cuz said, let's file and go to Selma. So we did. Got close to Selma, and Montgomery asked if we wanted to deviate because the weather was so bad. And we said no. He said, well, that's up to you. His cousin wanted me to see what it was like to fly through some bad weather, and I really appreciate that. It really helped me in my training. Then on November the 7th of 07, I set up with Mark, had my instrument check ride, and been instrument flying ever since. And I owe everything to Cuz. Happy retirement. Hate to see you retire. Just don't give up flying. We love you.
Hi, I'm Michael Houston. I'm a Delta Airlines pilot that got my first flying job at Shelby County as a flight instructor back in 2006. This is also where I first met Johnny when he worked at the FBO at the airport. My first week on the job, I got rear-ended on the way to work. It was a minor accident, but obviously it was going to delay me getting to my lesson on time. So I called in and Johnny picked up. First of all, he made sure I was okay, and then he said he'd get in touch with my student and take care of everything from there. I just needed to take my time and they'd work out the schedule with the airplane. I'm not entirely sure what he ended up telling my student, but by the time I got there to the airport, they had bought me lunch and researched doctors and chiropractors that I could call up in case I developed problems from the accident. Thankfully, none of that was needed, but it certainly made my first week go better than it could have. Now, if you fast forward to my last week of instructing at Shelby County, someone called into the manager of the flight school while I was in the office and started asking questions about free time I might be available for one evening. Our manager didn't have a great poker face and kept asking me these suspicious questions, and I realized they were planning a little going away party for me. Little did Johnny know that I knew that was him on the other end of the phone. These are just a few examples of why Johnny is such a loved individual here in this flying community. And even though he's retiring from instructing, these are examples of Johnny outside of instructing. He's a caring individual that has always showed more interest in my professional career than a lot of members of my own family. I know he tells some of us that he likes to live vicariously through some of these experiences at the airlines, but I can assure you that a lot of my most exciting experiences came from instructing, and Johnny has had no shortage of those.
Hello, Johnny. Preston Rayfield, still the record holder in Shelby County for the longest duration as a student pilot. I think it was 6 years. No reflection on you, of course, but only on my workaholic nature. And as I recall, you also got the benefit of a renovated kitchen from my 6 years of flight training. Had a lot of memories that I think about quite often, and I enjoyed flying in those times that we flew together and the training that we had. You challenged me. Some of the memories I recall was especially the old leather coat, which that thing truly had some character to it. I mean, it was worn out. It had holes in the elbows. It had strips of leather hanging from places that should not have strips of leather hanging from it. I don't know how many hours it had logged, but that thing really had some mileage on it for sure. And I always thought if there was a Shelby County Aviation Museum, that leather jacket should have been in it. I remember those congratulatory slaps on the shoulder when I would occasionally do something really good with the airplane. It was so inspirational to me, and I could tell how much you were invested in my flight training, and I know the same with everyone else that you flew with. And recalling some of those memories, one of the most memorable flights I think that I ever had with you was, and of course this is coming from someone who did not have, a past in aviation. And I remember the night cross country when we flew our first leg from Shelby County to Selma. I remember when we approached the Selma airport and we keyed the mic to bring up the runway lights, and out of all that darkness the lights came up, and it was one of the coolest things I think I had ever seen. I still share that memory with other people when I have a chance to talk to them about some of my experiences in the airplane. And then of course there's the Grumman Cheetah. you have had such a role in just about every part of my aviation experience. You had the friend who knew about the Grumman Cheetah, and it was located in Mayfield, Kentucky. And so you and I flew up there in the Mooney and looked at the airplane. I made the offer and purchased the airplane, and of course I still have the airplane today. So Johnny, there's just been so many aspects of my flying that you have contributed to, and I don't know how I can thank you enough for all of that. Of course, there is the kitchen, the renovated kitchen, but Johnny, thank you. I appreciate everything that you have done for me and everyone else, because I know you contribute so much to so many different causes and people. Thank you, Johnny. I wish you the best in your retirement from flight training. Take care. Thank you.
Johnny, I understand you're retiring. And I understand in your situation you want to go home and relax and all that, but don't think you're off the hook yet. The fact is, you're the oldest guy here that can teach people how to fly. We're still going to call you when we got problems. And the fact is, Diana's liable to run you out of the house soon enough, so we'll see you again.
Hi, my name is David McElwain, and I met Johnny about 9 years ago when he became my first flight instructor. He always went above and beyond, doing everything he could to help me in my flight training and in life. Since working with Johnny, I've worked my way through ratings and am currently a first officer at JetBlue. I owe this in large part to Johnny. He has always been and always will be an incredible friend and mentor. Thanks for everything you've done for me and so many others in the community. Congrats on retirement. You deserve it.
What could be said about Johnny Barnes that hasn't already been said? You know, I'm sitting here in a hotel in St. Louis thinking about some of our flight training together and the things that we went through. Luckily, I was afforded the opportunity to do a good bit of my training with Johnny and experience some of the Johnny-isms that are related to getting to fly with him. And I was able to document some of this stuff, and I'd like to share one of those clips with you. Now, pay no attention to the frightened former sheriff's deputy sitting in the left seat, just trying to figure out why he's flying with this old man over here who's obviously lived his life and has no fear of dying. But do watch the old man sitting right over here. That is sitting there with the big grin on his face because he knows that he just made the cop sitting over here lose his stuffing just for a minute, reaching for oh crap handles that aren't there and all this kind of stuff. So check this out real quick.
Stall it, especially power off, there's nothing to it. All right. All right, all I'm going to do is have to get down here. Oh, we are in Twilight Hour. Come through Chopper. On the way. Pull it up. Get on it here.
Oh.
I got it.
You have the airplane, Johnny.
Dude, you yank the power out of it.
So that was one of many different little things that I got to go do with Johnny and experience, from trying to spin a Cherokee to the impossible turn and counting squirrels as we're dragging the wheels of this Cherokee through the pine trees at the north end of 1-6 coming in. But I learned a lot from you, Johnny. I think about you every time I go to sleep and hear somebody screaming right rudder in the back of my subconscious. And, you know, I'm glad for the opportunity to have gotten to fly with you, and certainly the aviation as an industry is going to have some really big shoes to fill with you no longer here teaching some of these younger pilots. Now it's going to be up to the rest of these yahoos to get everybody trained up and proficient. And I would like to end with just saying one thing, Johnny. We love you, we appreciate you, and remember, your mom's on final.
Hi, my name is Emma Percy, and I hold a commercial certificate with an instrument rating. I currently fly a VTOL Bonanza that is based here at Shelby County. I'm doing some contract flying while finishing up my senior year at Auburn University. To Johnny, congratulations on your retirement from flight instructing. I just want to say thank you for everything you have done for me and my family. Ever since 2016, when I started my private pilot's license, all the way until today, you have been a great flight instructor and a great friend. You are always the first person to help out other people, and you've done so much for this community. I've had a blast flying with you these past few years, and I cannot wait to fly with you some more. I wish you the best. Thank you.
Hey Johnny, aloha from Honolulu. I just wanted to say congratulations on your retirement. Got some mixed feelings. I'm happy that you get to take a break and chill out a little bit, but I'm also kind of sad that others don't get to experience your instructing like I did. Time of my life. But anyways, there's no way I could have made it where I made it without you. And I know that I'm not the only one that can say that. I still have to pinch myself here. And a huge part of it is thanks to you and all the opportunities that you've given me along the way. But anyways, just sitting here in the 717 right now in between flights, about to go to Maui, your favorite place in the whole world, I believe. And anyways, yeah, I just wanted to say congrats. We'll have to have a Mai Tai when you get back here next year. Anyways, have a good one, Johnny. Enjoy retirement.